Okay, we're back on live. This is Esther from Exercise Academy, and you're on with Esther, your life with Esther. And today we're going to learn English with story. We're going to learn English with story. I did a live session earlier on Learn English with Story, and we looked at the story, The Bogey Beast. So if you missed that story, you can go back to my videos and search for the last story I did on The Bogey Beast. Now, it is essential as a learner of the English language that you have the listening skills, the speaking skills, and the reading skills. Learning English through stories will help you with your reading skills and your listening skills. And not only that, it will help you with your speaking skills. So we're going live now, learning English through stories. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. We're going to learn English through stories. Now, reading in English is one of the most effective way of learning. If you want to learn English, you must learn your reading skills. You must improve in your reading skills. Improving your reading skills, improving your listening skills, and improve in your speaking skills. Because research has shown that students who read in English improve more. Students who read in English improve more. So if you want to improve in your English language, you should learn to read. And as a beginner, you should learn to read short stories. Not just any story, but begin with short stories. Then after reading short stories, you graduate to big novels and to lengthy articles. So that's why English Live with Esther today, we're learning to read short stories. We're looking at short stories. We're reading with short stories. Not only that, you should also learn to listen. As I read the stories, I want you to listen. Listen to the way I'm pronouncing the words. Listen to the new vocabularies we get from the story and learn to apply them in your daily usage on your daily conversation. Now, why are short stories better for learning? Why do we need short stories? Why should you read short stories? Why is it good to read short stories for learning? Number one, you get more time to focus on individual words. When you read short stories, you have enough time to focus on the words as they come. You see the short story book, you have time to pick out the words, you have time to learn the words, you have time to focus on the words as they appear. Compared to when you see lengthy novels or big novels, you wouldn't have time to place the words, you wouldn't have time to pick the words. But when you read short stories, you have time to pick the individual words as they appear. You have time to devote your attention to a particular word. You have time to search the meaning of the word and use them in your daily conversation. Another reason why you should read short stories is that you can finish a whole story in a sitting. You can finish reading a whole short story in a sitting. As a learner of the English language, you should read short story. You can finish it in a sitting. Compared to reading big novels, you can pick a short story book and go over it one at a time quickly compared to when you're reading big novels. So reading short stories will help you improve your English language. Now, reading short stories is also best for consistency. It is faster. It is easier to read one book every day than when you read a novel. You find out you're reading a novel, the same novel, for a week or even a month. So reading short stories shows consistency. It is best for your consistency. Another reason you should read short story is that you can easily share it among your friends. You can share these short stories with your friends. If you're in a club, a book club, or you have a group of friends, you can discuss on the short story there in a meeting. So you can decide to meet in a restaurant, you can decide to meet in the garden, you can decide to meet anywhere and just discuss the short story. And in discussing this short story, you bring out the plot, which is the summary of the story. Then you talk about the main ideas of the story. You talk about the different characters of the story and how they portrayed their characters. So when you read short stories, you can discuss it together in a group. That's why reading short story is essential. Another reason why you should read short stories is that you get to focus more on the ideas. Short stories will help you to focus on ideas and concepts. Short stories will help you to focus on ideas and concepts. It is easier to read, so it helps you to focus more on ideas and concepts. Now, our story for today is The Tortoise and the Hare. The Tortoise and the Hare. This story is a folk tale. What's a folk tale? A folk tale is a tale or legend originating and traditional among a people or folk. It is a legend or a tale originating and traditional among a people or folk, especially one forming part of the oral tradition of the common people. Any belief or story passed on traditionally, especially one considered to be false or superstitious, is called a folk tale. So our folk tale today, our story today is The Tortoise and the Hare. As you probably know, a hare it looks like a large rabbit. I know you've seen a hare. A hare is an animal, and a tortoise is also an animal. The tortoise has a big shell on its back, and it walks slowly. The hare is an animal that looks like a large rabbit. It has long ears and it runs very fast, faster than a tortoise. What is the comparison between the hare and the tortoise? Is there anything comparing the hare to the tortoise? We'll find out from the story. That's what we're looking at the story, The Tortoise and the Hare. What is the story about? Let's listen. This is Esther again from Exercise Academy, and you're learning English live with Esther. If you like my story, my presentation, give me a like, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. And press the bell icon for notification on more videos because we're going to be learning English live, playing with the English language, making it informal in our daily life. And today is storytelling, and we're looking at the story, The Tortoise and the Hare. A long time ago, there was a hare who saw a tortoise walking slowly with a heavy shell on his back. The tortoise was walking through the woods. He had business to take care of. So he walked through the forest with his usual determination. Determination is a willpower, strength of mind, or purpose. So the tortoise was walking through the forest with his usual determination. And the hare was very proud of himself. And he began making fun of the tortoise for being so slow. And what did the hare say? The hare said, if where you are heading to is so important, why don't you hurry? You will never get anything done walking like that. So the hare was making fun of the tortoise because the tortoise was walking slowly. And the hare told the tortoise, if where you're going to is important, why are you walking like this? You will never get there in time. Why are you walking like this? It wouldn't stop teasing the tortoise. It wouldn't stop mocking the tortoise. It was being sarcastic. It was laughing at the tortoise. It was teasing the tortoise for his slowness. He was bragging about how fast he could run. He bragged and even laughed at the tortoise. To brag is to raise one's shoulder, to be proud of oneself. The hare was bragging that he could run faster than the tortoise, who was so slow. And the hare said, look at your feet. They are no match for my fast feet. Watch me run. And the hare ran around in circles. He was showing himself, he was bragging. He ran around in circles. He was indeed very fast. The hare was indeed very fast, yes. But he was showing it off. He was bragging in front of the tortoise, who was slow. And he said, see, as he was running around in circles, he was saying, see, I told you I was fast. I'm the fastest runner in the woods, and you are the slowest one. He mocked and jeered at the tortoise, and then he said, we should compete. We should compete. What did the tortoise say? The tortoise was just looking at the hare, wondering, why would you want to compete with me? You said it yourself that you're the fastest. Why then would you want to compete with me? The hare again was boasting. It was showing off. It was showing off his speed before the other animals. I have never yet been beaten when I put forth my full speed, he said. I challenge anyone here with a race. He was boasting. And he asked the tortoise, shall we have a race? Shall we have a race? And he continued. It's like he enjoyed himself mocking the tortoise. And he continued. Do you ever get anywhere? He asked with a mocking laugh. So he was laughing at the tortoise as he said, do you ever get anywhere? And the tortoise at last replied. What did the tortoise say? The tortoise said, yes, and I'll get there sooner than you think. So when the hare said, do you ever get anywhere? The tortoise said, yes, and I will get there sooner than you think. I'll run you a race and prove it. The tortoise said, yes, I'll get there sooner than you think, and I'll run you a race and prove it. The tortoise was tired of the hare showing off, and he agreed to have a running competition with the hare. And the tortoise told the hare, you may be fast, but I am persistent, I am constant, I'm determined, I'm relentless, and I'm pushy. And then, what happened? We're looking at the story, the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise told the hare, I am persistent, I'm constant, I'm determined, I'm relentless, and I'm pushy. Let's have the race. And the hare was much amused at the idea of running a race with the tortoise. He wanted to laugh at the tortoise. He wanted to show off himself in front of the tortoise. So he was amused at the idea of running a race with the tortoise. But for the fun of the thing, he agreed again and said, okay, I will run a race with you. So all the forest animals met, and the fox, who was well known for his woodland the fox was well known because he had the voice of a whistle. He had the best whistle, so the fox became the judge. And they marked the distance and started the runners off. The fox marked the distance because he was well known in the forest for having the best whistle. So he marked the distance as the judge and set the runners off. And he said, on your mark, get set, go. And the race began. And the hare, being such a swift, speedy, quick, fast, and hasty animal, soon left the tortoise behind. Quickly, the hare zoomed off. And the tortoise was behind, but he was in a race. So he was still running in the race. But the hare had zoomed off. The hare was soon far out of sight from the tortoise. And to make the tortoise feel very deeply how ridiculous it was to try and race with the hare, he stopped. He wanted the tortoise to feel ashamed. He wanted the tortoise to feel very silly. He wanted the tortoise to feel very absurd. He wanted the tortoise to feel very outrageous, having to try and race with the hare. So he stopped at a distance and then laid down and decided to take a nap. It decided to take a rest. It decided to sleep for a while until the tortoise should catch up. It decided to rest for a while until the tortoise should catch up. Now, the hare, being a petty animal, did not just want to win. If he had just zoomed up to the finish line quickly, leaving the tortoise behind, it would have been of no use since everyone know he is the fastest. So he wanted to make the tortoise feel silly. He didn't just want to win like that. He wanted to show off himself. He wanted to make the tortoise feel foolish. So he stopped and decided to take a nap. He stopped and decided to take a rest. And what did he say? He said, I'll just stay here under the tree and rest a bit. I'm so fast and I'll be able to beat tortoise and take a nap. He said, I'll just stay under the tree and rest a while. I'm so fast that I'll be able to beat tortoise and take a nap. I'm so fast that I'll be able to beat tortoise and take a rest. I'll be able to beat tortoise and take a nap. So he decided to rest. And as he was resting, he yawned and said, I have plenty of time to beat that tortoise. I have plenty of time to beat that tortoise. Who is the tortoise to think that he can beat me? I have plenty of time to beat that tortoise. And he cuddled up, he hugged the tree, he embraced the tree, he held it, he cuddled up against the tree, and he dozed off. He cuddled up against the tree and he slept off. Now, what happened? The tortoise, meanwhile, continued to plod. It continued to struggle, to labor. It was dragging slowly. It was walking tiredly. It was walking wearily. It was plodding slowly, slowly. It was moving. It kept going slowly but steadily. It kept going slowly but gradually, progressively. It was moving. He never stopped. He never stopped, but took one good step after another. It took one good step after another. It was moving, moving, moving. I'm just going to keep my eyes on the prize. I'm just going to keep my eyes on the prize. Slow and steady. Onward I go. I'm just going to keep my eyes on the prize. Slow and steady, but onward I go. And after a time, he passed by the place where the hare was sleeping. But the hare slept on very peacefully, cuddling himself against the tree. He slept on very peacefully. And when at last he finally woke up from his nap, he said, oh, time to get going. And then he jumped up. And when he looked ahead, the tortoise was near the goal. The tortoise was near the finish line. It dashed as quickly as anyone could up to the finish line, but there he met the tortoise, who was patiently awaiting his arrival. This is Esther from Esther Stars Academy, and we're on English Live with Esther learning English through story. We've gone through the story, the tortoise and the hare. If you like my story, you like my presentation, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, press the like button and subscribe. Press the notification bell also for more videos. This story is talking about persistency. It's talking about progressing gradually. It's talking about being slow and steady. At a point of time in your life, you may have experienced a situation where you decided to take it slow, but then you got to the finish line. You decided to take it steady, but then you got to the finish line. What's your story? What situation have you been in that you decide to take the course slowly, you decide to run the race slowly, but at the end of the day, you met your mark. At the end of the day, you met your mark. That's what the story, The Tortoise and the Hare, is all about, and you are on English Live with Esther. We've gone through the story once, now we're going over the story again, taking note of the different vocabulary. We're learning English through short stories. Not only are we learning English, we're learning the words, the vocabularies from the short stories. Now let's go over the story again. The tortoise and the hare. I told you the tortoise and the hare is a folktale, and a folktale is a tale or a legend originating from people, traditional among a common group of people. It's a believable story that is passed on traditionally. And our story again is the tortoise and the hare. Now let's get started. A long time ago, there was a hare who saw a tortoise walking slowly with a heavy shell on his back. The tortoise was walking through the woods. He had business to take care of. So he walked through the forest with his usual determination. He walked through the forest with his usual strength and willpower. The hare was very proud of himself and began making fun of the tortoise for being so slow. He said to the tortoise, "If where you're heading to is so important, why don't you hurry? You would never get anything done walking like that." He wouldn't stop teasing the tortoise. He wouldn't stop mocking the tortoise. He wouldn't stop being so sarcastic. He was laughing at the tortoise. He wouldn't stop teasing the tortoise for his slowness. He was bragging about how fast he could run. He bragged and even laughed at the tortoise who was so slow. "Look at your feet. They're no match for my fast feet. Watch me run," he said. And then he ran around and around in circles, showing off himself. He was indeed very fast. Then he said, "See, I told you I was fast. I'm the fastest runner in the woods, and you are the slowest one. We should compete," he said, laughing at the tortoise. He jeered at the tortoise. He mocked the tortoise. The hare was once again boasting. It was showing off. He was boasting, showing off his speed to the other animals. He was showing off himself to the other animals. He was showing himself, and he said, "I have never yet been beaten when I put forth my full speed. I challenge anyone here to race with me." He said, "I've never yet been beaten when I put forth my full speed. I challenge anyone here to race with me." And he asked the tortoise, "Shall we have a race? Shall we have a race?" That's a question. Shall we have a race? Not only did he stop there, he didn't even wait for the tortoise to reply. As they asked the question, "Shall we have a race?" he said, "Do you ever get anywhere?" He said, laughing at the tortoise mockingly, "Do you ever get anywhere?" And the tortoise, who has been staring all along, looked at the hare and said, "Yes, and I'll get there sooner than you think. I'll run you a race and prove it. Yes, I'll get there sooner than you think. I'll run you a race and prove it." The tortoise was tired of having the hare show off. He was tired of seeing the hare boast about himself. He was tired of seeing the hare bragging, and he agreed to have a running competition. "You may be fast," he said, "but I am persistent. You may be fast, but I am persistent. I am constant. I am determined. I am relentless. I am pushy." So the tortoise was positive. He didn't want to let the boastfulness of the hare get to him. He didn't even let the bragging attitude of the hare get to him. He didn't undermine he didn't look at the fact that the hare was trying to undermine him or was trying to make him feel foolish. He didn't look at that fact. He didn't even look at the fact that he was slow. Yes, we know the tortoise is a slow animal, but he didn't even look at that trait, his personality, that he is a slow animal. He didn't look at that. He looks at the hare and said, "Yes, you may be fast. I'm not disputing the fact that you are fast. I'm not disputing it. I admit, yes, you are fast. You're a fast animal. But one thing you should know is that I am persistent. I am persistent. I am constant. I am determined. I am relentless. And I am pushy." We're looking at the story, the tortoise and the hare. We've looked at the characters of the animals, the hare and the tortoise. From the story, you find out that the hare is a boastful animal. It's swift, yes, it's fast, but it's proud. It's boastful. He brags a lot. The tortoise, on the other hand, is slow, but his persistence is pushy. When the tortoise say, "I will get there," he will surely get there, not minding if he is slow or not. He didn't even look at that attribute or that quality in him that is a slow animal. He's positive. He had a positive mindset that despite the fact that the hare is fast, but the hare is not persistent. It's fast, yes, but will you get there? Do you think it's by being fast? Do you think you will get there? I don't think so. You may be fast, but I am persistent, I am pushy, I am consistent, and I am determined and relentless, he told the hare. Now the hare was amused at the idea. It was amused at the idea that the tortoise even agreed to have a race with him. He was amused at the idea of racing with the tortoise. But for the fun of the thing, he decided to go on. For the fun of it, he agreed to go on with the race. So the forest animals gathered together and they met the fox. The fox is known among the woodland creatures as having the best whistle. He has the best whistle. So when the animals met together, they decided to make the fox the judge. So the fox as a judge marked the distance from start to finish. He marked the distance from start to finish. And then, with his whistle, he began. On your mark, get set, go. And then he blew the whistles, and the animals started running. Tortoise and hare began. The race started. They started. The hare, as a fast animal, didn't even wait or look back at the tortoise. As the race began, the hare, being swift, being speedy, being fast, quick, and hasty, soon took off, leaving the tortoise behind. The hare was such a swift, speedy, fast, quick, and hasty animal. He was a fast runner. He was a hasty runner, and the tortoise knew that. The tortoise did not dispute the fact that the hare is a quick animal. The hare, as a quick animal, started the race quickly, leaving the tortoise far behind. He left the tortoise far behind, and the tortoise was behind, and his hare was soon out of sight. So the tortoise, looking ahead, couldn't even see the hare, and the hare, looking behind, couldn't even see the tortoise. So the distance was so wide. The margin was wide. The margin between them was so wide because the hare began very fast. But to make the tortoise feel very foolish, to make the tortoise feel ridiculous of having to agree to a race with him, to make the tortoise feel so outrageous and absurd, he decided to stop. The hare could have gone ahead, run the race, and won it. But of what use will it be? Everyone knows the hare is fast. So if he had gone ahead, and quickly as he was, if he had run ahead and just won the race, it's no news, it's no big deal, it's normal, it's usual. It's a normal thing. Everyone knows the hare is fast. So if you had just gone ahead to win the race, no record, no breaking news, no breaking record. So he wanted to make a breaking news. He wanted to make the tortoise feel more foolish, never to agree to run a race again with him. So that was why he stopped. That was why he slowed down. And that was why he decided to take a nap. So he laid down beside the cars to take a nap. He stopped the race. He didn't finish it. He didn't want to continue again. He stopped the race and decided to take the nap until the tortoise should soon catch up. So he wanted to just rest a little. Then maybe when he opens his eyes and he sees that the tortoise is coming almost towards him, it would begin. But you know how sleep is. When you say, oh, let me just take a nap, you wouldn't even know when the sleep will catch up with you. And you find out that the nap you wanted to take for 5 minutes, you ended up taking it for an hour. So that was what happened to the hare. And decided to take a nap. He didn't want the tortoise to, he didn't want to just let the tortoise lose low key. He wanted the tortoise losing to be high key. He didn't want to just win. Being a petty animal, he didn't just want to win like that. He wanted to make the tortoise feel foolish. So what did he do? He said, I'll just stay here under the tree and rest a bit. I'll just stay here under the tree and rest a bit. I'm so fast that I'll be able to beat the tortoise and take a nap. So he decided to stay under the tree, to rest under the tree and take a nap while waiting for the tortoise to come out. He decided to take a nap while waiting for the tortoise. He decided to rest. He decided to sleep. And not only that, what did he say again? He said to himself, I have plenty of time to beat that tortoise. That tortoise. Can you imagine this language? I have plenty of time to beat that tortoise. Who does he think he is? I have plenty of time to beat him. If you give me the whole time in the world, I can beat that tortoise because he's a nobody. If you give me the whole time in the world, I can beat that tortoise because he's a nobody. So what did he do? He cuddled up against the tree. He wrapped himself against the tree. He held himself to the tree. Let me enjoy myself. He cuddled up against the tree and he dozed off. He slept off. That was what he wanted. He wanted to take a nap anyway. So he cuddled himself against the tree and he dozed. The tortoise, on the other hand, continued the race. It didn't undermine the fact that the hare was fast. But he didn't undermine the fact that he also was a persistent animal. He knew he was persistent. He knew the hare was fast. The hare can be fast and not persistent. He can decide along the way to, he didn't even think of taking a nap. He just thought the hare can decide along the way to maybe visit a friend or take a nap like he did or decide to get a snack or something. But the tortoise is constant, is persistent, is pushy, relentless. I wouldn't take a nap. I wouldn't visit a friend. I wouldn't stop for a snack. I'm going to the mark. Onward I go, he said. I'm going to where I am supposed to go. I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep my eyes steady on the prize. I like the character of the tortoise. I like the attitude of the tortoise. He may be slow, but he was pushy. He was relentless. He was positive. He didn't even undermine, he didn't look at the fact that the hare had gone way ahead of him. He still kept on in the race. He still kept on running. So as he continued to run, let's use the word run because he was actually running. So as he continued to run, as he continued to labor, he kept going slowly but steadily, slowly but gradually, one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. There is no need to rush. One step at a time, one step at a time. He never stopped, but it took one good step after the other. It took one good step after the other. One foot, the other foot. One foot, the other foot. With what in mind? The prize on his mind. I'm going to keep my eyes on the prize. I'm going to keep my eyes on the prize. I'm going to keep my eyes on the prize. Come what may, my eyes on the prize. Come what may, my eyes on the prize. Come what may, I must get there. Come what may, I must get there. That is what the tortoise said. This is Esther from X to Stars Academy. We're English Live with Esther. And we're looking at the story, The Tortoise and the Hare. It's a folktale. You probably would have heard the story, but have you really sat down to analyze the characters of the hare and the tortoise? You probably have heard the story 1,000 and 1,000 and 1,001 times, but have you probably sat down to analyze, to place the characters of the tortoise and the hare? Is not how far. It is not how far, but how consistent, how steady are you? Let's look at the story again. If you like my presentation, you like my story, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and if you have a story of how you were steady and you actually, at the end of the day, won the prize, you can place it in the comment section. Now, what happened? The tortoise had in mind the prize. He had in mind the prize in mind, and he said, "Onward I go." And after a time, he passed where the hare was sleeping. I'm not even sure he noticed the hare. Or maybe if he had noticed the hare, would he have woken the hare up? Do you think he would have tapped the hare and say, hey, Mr. Hare, we're in a race. Why are you sleeping? What would he have done? Was he okay? He overpassed the hare and left the hare sleeping? Or he should have tapped the hare and say, "Mr. Hare, wake up, we're in a race. I'm ahead of you." I don't know, maybe he didn't notice the hare anyway. But what did he do? Okay, like he said, he was persistent. So I think he didn't want to stop by anything. He didn't want anything to distract him. His eyes was there. He didn't even care who was behind him, beside him, ahead of him. He was just moving, 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 moving. If he had swayed to the right to wake Mr. Hare, that's distraction. Or if he had swayed to the left to wake Mr. Hare was by his left, that's also distraction. So he didn't turn to the right, neither did he turn to the left. He was just moving forward. Onward I go. So he ignored the sleeping hare, and he passed by the sleeping hare and still continued the race. He didn't even think, oh, the hare can wake up and still run ahead of me and win the race. He didn't care. As far as he did not wave, nor slumber, he did not sleep, nor stop by, he was still persistent. The hare stopped. He did not stop. So even if the hare had woken up to overtake him in the race, it would have still been no big deal for Mr. Tortoise. So he still continued in the race. He was being persistent in the race. Now what happened? The hare was sleeping peacefully when Mr. Tortoise passed by. And when at last he finally woke from his nap, he said, "Time to get going." So I'm sure he thought to himself, "At least I've rested enough. Let me get going. I've rested enough. Let me begin my race." And he yawned and stood up. But when he looked ahead, well, who did he see? He saw the tortoise. The tortoise was ahead. It was near the finish line. It was near the goal. They had a goal they were supposed to meet, but he stopped by to take a nap. And when he awoke, lifting up his head, opening his eyes, he saw the tortoise ahead, almost close to the finish line. The tortoise was ahead near the goal. And the hare being as fast, I'm sure he didn't even mind, oh, the tortoise is ahead, no problem. I'm the fast animal. I can run and still overtake the tortoise. He ran his swiftest. He ran his fastest. He ran his best. What he didn't do from the beginning, at the end, he decided to put his all into the race now. I'm sure he had slept, so he had rested enough, he had enough strength to put in the race at the end. So he gathered the strength together and decided to put the full strength in the race. He decided to put the full strength, his last, his best and last and all. He brought everything out and decided to put in the race. So he ran his swiftest, he ran his fastest, as quickly as ever. But he could not overtake the tortoise in time. Despite the fact that he ran his swiftest, his fastest, his best, he still could not overtake the tortoise in time. He dashed as quickly as anyone ever could up to the finish line. But when he got there, who did he meet? He met the tortoise, who was patiently awaiting his arrival. So before he could gather his strength, gather his all his power, bring out his best, and run to the finish line, he saw Mr. Tortoise there, patiently waiting. I can imagine the smile on the tortoise's face. The tortoise was there waiting for him. Not how fast, but how persistent. It's not about how fast you are. It's not about how fast you have been. Not about how fast you were, but how persistent are you in the race. This is Esther from Extra Stars Academy, and we are live, English Live with Esther. If you're just joining, you can give a like if you like my presentation. The story today is The Tortoise and the Hare. We're looking at how the persistency of the tortoise won the race against the hare. Let's look at the morals. What can we learn from this story? What can we gain from this story? What's the lesson behind this story? Now, the first lesson we can learn from the story is pride goes before a fall. Pride goes before a fall. Hmm. You may have heard this line 1,001 times. Have you thought about it? Pride goes before a fall. The hare was boastful. The hare was, this is just a story, but you know it applies really to human beings. Pride goes before a fall. You find some people who are boastful, they're bragging about themselves, bragging about what they have in the face of others. It's not good to be to brag. It's not good to be boastful. We can see what happened to the hare. He was proud. He was braggy. He was boastful. And what happened at the end? He fell. Pride goes before a fall. That's the first lesson you should learn from this story. That pride goes before a fall. The story, of course, is amazing. It shows the effects of procrastination. When you procrastinate something, that's what happens. Excuse me. The hare thought to himself, I want to take a rest. I can take a rest because I can beat the tortoise any day. So he procrastinated. He showed off himself. He postponed what he could have done. He was supposed to have run his best. He was supposed to have run his fullness. He was supposed to have showed off himself in the race, not in his words. He was supposed to be boastful in his action, not in his words. He was supposed to show off himself in his words, in his action, pardon me. He was supposed to show up himself in his action by running the race from start to finish, but he postponed it, he procrastinated. He said, I will do it when I wake up. I will finish the race when I've rested a bit. I will finish the race when I've rested a bit. That was what he said. And what happened? You know what happened. So it's not good to procrastinate. What you can do today, don't take it to tomorrow. What you can do today, don't postpone it. Don't say, I just want to rest a bit. I just want to, I can't finish this book. I just want to take a nap. I want to just go out and get a drink. Can I just switch off my phone? I don't want to Google again. Can I watch something else, not English movies? Can I just interact in my local dialect? I will do it tomorrow. I will engage in reading club tomorrow. I will discuss English with my friends next week. Whew. I can't go to the class today. I'm tired. I will do it tomorrow. I can't go to school today. I can't go to work today. I feel tired. Giving yourself excuses for nothing. Don't postpone. Don't take to tomorrow what you can do today. What you can afford to do today, don't leave it till tomorrow. Now, another lesson we can learn from this story is that slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. When you're slow, like the tortoise, but you're steady, your eyes on the prize. You're slow, but you're steady. One step at a time. 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 There's no need to rush. One step at a time. One step at a time. It means if you set a goal for yourself, you must keep working towards that goal. Don't let anything distract you. Don't let anything take your mind off it. If you have decided to learn English, let your mind be in it. Whatever you decide to do in this life, set your mind in it. Set your mind in that goal. Take it slowly but steady. I discussed earlier in one of my live sections on how to teach yourself English. And one point I gave is if you want to teach yourself English, you must learn to take it slowly. You must learn to take it slowly. If you have to take it slowly, it will help you. And I gave an example of playing the piano. If you want to play the piano, you don't just start playing it and hope to be good immediately. You don't just pick up your piano, start playing it, and hope to be good immediately. You must take it slowly. You must devote time to it. Take it slowly, be consistent in it, and you will get there. So learn to take it slowly and keep working towards it. Keep working towards your goal. That's what it means to be slow and steady. Keep working towards your goal. Keep your eyes on the prize. And when you do, you reach that goal. To accomplish a goal, you mustn't waste time on meaningless things or mindless things. You must not lose focus. When you're slow and steady, it means your eyes is on the prize, your eyes on the goal. Avoid distraction. To accomplish the goal, you must avoid mindless or meaningless things, things that don't make sense. Like the hare. It could have at least won the race and sleep while waiting for the tortoise. It could have decided to, if he were feeling sleepy while running, it would have gone to the finish line, finished the race, then take a nap to a tree, cuddling himself against a tree close to, after the finish line. So he would have gone ahead, crossed the finish line, grabbed one tree there and cuddled up himself against it. But he said no. He waited in the middle of the race, putting his mind on something meaningless, putting his mind on something that doesn't make sense. Who does that? he lost focus. Looking at the story, the tortoise and the hare, learning English with Esther, life with Esther. We're playing with the English language, we're learning the English language. If you have any question, you can let me know. If you have any observation, let me know. If you have any comments, let me know. We're learning English life with Esther. And I said, being slow and steady means you must not lose focus. Your eyes must be on the prize. You must take your mind off something that is meaningless and mindless. Another lesson we can learn from this story is the effects of overconfidence. What happens to you when you're overconfident? You're too sure of yourself. It's good to be confident, yes, but your confidence should go in line with your action. Should go in line with your works, with your doing. Don't just decide to show off your being confident without the necessary plans in place. If you're showing off your confidence, don't be too sure of yourself. No one is perfect. You can be perfect, but no one is still perfect. We all make mistakes. Like the hare, he bragged that he was the fastest animal in the woods and no one could compete with him. But the tortoise agreed to compete with him, and he was overconfident that he would beat the tortoise. The tortoise admitted, yes, you're fast, but I am persistent. So the hare's show of overconfidence was what made him lose. We can see the effects of overconfidence. Another lesson we can learn from the story is we should not brag about, okay, that's bragging. Don't brag about your lightning pace. It's not how fast, it's not how fast it goes. Don't brag about your lightning pace. Don't brag about how fast you started something. Don't brag about how fast you are in the middle. Wait till you get to the end, because I might end up meeting you there. So don't start with, I started first, I'm the fastest, I'm the biggest, I'm the best, I'm the smooth talker, because I will end up meeting you there. You know why? Because I'm constant, I'm persistent, I'm relentless, and I'm pushy. So don't brag about yourself. Don't show off in my face, because I will get there. I will surely meet you there, and I will overtake you if you're not careful. Yes, I have a positive mind. So the head show of confidence was what, overconfidence was what made him lose. He stopped the race and he fell asleep. But the tortoise can still continue. That's why when you continue in your work, you'll be successful. When you continue in your work, you'll be successful compared to when you just act quickly and carelessly, like the hare. When you continue doing your work, you will be successful. You will be more successful than when you just quickly rush into it, do it carelessly. It even happens in our daily life. If you have a work you want to do, you find out that when you devote your time to that work and take your time in doing the work, you achieve more. You achieve better than when you just go into the job quickly, fast as possible. You find out at the end of the day, the job you did fast, the job you did carelessly was nothing compared to the one you devoted your time to do slowly. So when you have to do your work, learn to do it slowly and steadily. You can be fast, yes, but you must be steady. Don't do it so quickly and carelessly. So being slowly in your work and steadily in your work is better than being fast or quickly and careless. I hope you got that. Being slow and steady in your work is better than being quick and careless. Better than being quick and careless. Be slow and steady. Moving on, another lesson we learn from the story is quitters never win and winners never quit. The tortoise did not want to quit. If I quit, I won't win this race. If I quit, I will lose. In his mind, he already had the mindset, I'm not going to quit from the beginning. Even if the hare beats me in this race, even if the hare is as fast or faster than I am, I won't quit. I don't mind. I don't mind. I will continue the race. When I get there, I get there. Anytime I get there, I get there. So we continued in the race and we won the race at the end. So take note, winners never quit and quitters never win. That's a moral from the story. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Winners never quit, quitters never win. So if you want to win, don't quit. If you want to win in that business, don't quit. If you want to win in your learning the English language, don't quit. You could be at the tail end, you could be at the end of your journey, you could be at the end already. You wouldn't even know. You would even have been perfect if you had continued, but you decided to stop. So don't stop. Be consistent. Persist in the learning of the language. Persist. Interact more. Converse more with your friends. Engage in conversations, in book clubs, in online clubs, in group meetings with friends. Watch English movies. Watch kiddies stories online. Watch their videos, kiddies videos. Watch kiddies channels. Read children books. Engage. Be persistent. Don't quit, because quitters never win and winners never quit. Don't get distracted. I told you that already. Don't get distracted. You must be consistent, because consistent and effective effort leads to success. When you're consistent, it will lead to success. Now, sometimes in life, the person who succeeds is not the one who is fast. The person who succeeds is not the one who is the best. The person who succeeds is not the one who is the brainy. Most times in life, the person who succeeds is not the best, but the one who is more focused and determined. You will notice this in your place of work, in the daily life. You will notice that the person who succeeds is not the best. It's not always the best in his or her endeavor. But the person, if you look at the person closely, the person is more focused. The person is more determined. The person who succeeds is one who is more focused and one who is more determined. The race is not always to the swift. The race is not always to the swift. That's a lesson you should learn. That's a lesson. The race is not always to the swift. It's not how fast you go. Because when you're fast, you could be careless in your attitude, in your action, in your speech. But when you take it slowly and steadily, you will get to the mark. So the race is not always to the swift. The race is not always to the swift. Another lesson you should learn from this story is that if you waste your time bragging and showing off like the hare did, you might not get to your goal. You might not reach your goal. Instead of wasting that time showing off in your speech, in your action, why not put that attitude into your work? Instead of wasting the time showing you can speak English or teach English, why not put it to your work and engage yourself in it and be better at it? So it's not about bragging. Don't waste your time showing off. Don't waste your time bragging about anything, because when you brag, you will not reach your goal. Like the hare. At the beginning of the race, the hare was bragging. It was showing off. Showing off to the tortoise and the rest of the animals that he would win. But did he reach the end? Did he get to his goal? No, he didn't. So if you waste your time bragging and showing off, you will not get to your goal. So we've looked at the morals from this story. We've looked at the lessons we've learned from the story. The effects of procrastination, of overconfidence, of consistency in the paths of the tortoise, and determination. The tortoise was consistent and determined, and he got to his goal. And the hare was overconfident, and he procrastinated, and you know what happened to him. Now let's look at some words and meaning from the story. This is English Live with Esther, and we're learning English through story. And our story today has been The Tortoise and the Hare. We've looked at the story, The Tortoise and the Hare. We've discussed the story in details. We've looked at the characters of the tortoise and the hare. You would have heard the story 1,000 times, but you may have not put your mind to placing the characters. Why the tortoise? Why the hare? They're both worlds apart. Why both of them? You may have noticed, but you may have not placed it. Now we've tried to merge and look at the characters, the tortoise and the hare. So we have analyzed the characters, that the tortoise is a slow animal but is persistent, is constant, is pushy, is relentless. But the hare is fast, but it is overconfident and braggy and proud, a show off, and is not pushy. It can easily be distracted. It can easily be persuaded against something. It can lose focus easily. So we've analyzed the characters of the story. If you like my presentation, please give me a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, press the bell icon and subscribe. And press the bell also for notification on more videos, because we're going to be learning English Live with Esther. We're learning lots of English Live with Esther. We'll learn phrases, we'll learn stories, we'll discuss issues pertaining to life and pertaining to English. Now, English Live with Esther is to help you build your listening skills, your reading skills, and your speaking skills. So you see me speaking. If you have any question, you can ask. If you have a comment, you can place your comments in the comment section. And after the end of the story, after the end of the live session of the story, I'll write the subtitle of the story in the description box. So you can go to the description box and read the story to build your reading skills. You read the story to build your reading skills. Then you find some vocabularies there. You bring out the vocabularies, learn them, learn their meaning, and use them in your daily lives. Now let's look at some words and meaning. The first word we have is the word fable. The word fable. The story The Tortoise and the Hare is a fable. It means it's a short story that is usually about animals and is intended to teach a lesson. So the story The Tortoise and the Hare is a fable. It is intended to teach a lesson. It is about animals. The fable is a short story usually about animals that is intended to teach a lesson. Another word here, one of the characters is the hare. The hare is an animal. Not just an animal, it's an animal that looks like a rabbit. I know you would have seen a rabbit, but you may have not seen a hare. So you can imagine how a hare looks like. A hare looks like a rabbit, but it has longer ears and is faster than a rabbit. The hare looks like a rabbit, but it has longer ears and is faster than a rabbit. What about the tortoise? The tortoise is a kind of a turtle that lives on land. The tortoise is a kind of turtle that lives on land. Now, these two animals are different. There is no similarity between them, but why compare them? Why should we compare the tortoise and the hare? Well, we know that the tortoise is slow, and the hare is fast. There is no comparison. The tortoise is slow and the hare is fast. Another word we came across from this story is the word brag. Brag means to speak in a way that shows too much pride. The hare was braggy. The hare said, I can win the tortoise. The hare was showing off. He knew about his own ability, but man, he showed up too much, and that was why he lost the race. We're looking at the story, The Tortoise and the Hare. We have analyzed the characters of the story. We've analyzed the characters of the story, which is the tortoise and the hare. Now we're looking at the words from the story, the words and the meaning. The hare was braggy. He showed off. He was talking about his ability. I'm the fastest. I can run. I'm the fastest. I'm the best in the woods. I can run faster than any animals in the woods. He was showing off. So brag means to speak in a way that shows too much pride. Too much. Too much. Too much. You know, too much of everything is bad. Too much of everything is bad. The hare was braggy. It spoke in a way that showed too much pride. You shouldn't be braggy. You shouldn't be bragging, you should be moderate. Don't brag about your ability. Don't brag about what you can do, what you can't do. Be moderate. Because you never can tell what will happen at the end. Don't brag about what you can do. Don't brag about what you can't do. Because you never can tell what can happen at the end. Another word we came across from this story is race. Race. Now, a race is a competition between people, animals, vehicles, to see which one is the fastest. I know you would have seen race between animals, race between human beings, race between people. We see that all the time. So that's a competition. A race is a competition between people, between animals, and between vehicles. So you can see vehicles in a race, in a race. Like in the film Fast and Furious, you see vehicles in a race. That's a race, the competition. Now, what about the word challenge? A challenge is an offer of competition. The hare put the tortoise to a challenge. That's an offer of competition. Of competition. The word is challenge. 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 Another word we came across from the story is overconfidence. Overconfidence. Overconfident, it means having too much confidence about something. You have too much confidence about something. It's a feeling that you can do something well or you can succeed at something. Now, it is not bad to be confident. Confidence is good. Confidence is you believe, you know within yourself that you can do this thing well. You know within yourself that you can succeed. You know within yourself that you are good. You know within yourself that you are smart. That's good. That's okay. But the problem is when you now become overconfident. When you become too sure of yourself that you can do something. When you start showing off that you are too good. No one can get to your standard. No one is above you. That is being overconfident. It's having too much confidence about something. That no one is ahead of you, no one is above you, no one is better than you. You are the best. And that attitude is not good. That attitude is bad because pride goes before a fall. If you take yourself too high, you'll be surprised that you'll be brought low, lower than you think. Okay? Looking at the words again from the story, we came across the word focus. Focus. Focus means to concentrate on one topic or one goal. To focus yourself on a particular goal. To focus yourself on an aim without any form of distraction. To focus yourself on an aim without any form of distraction. Everyone in life wants to be focused. We don't want distraction. So you should learn to be focused in your learning the English language, at the office. If you decide to leave the house to go to a place, don't get distracted and decide to visit another place because something could happen. So what you have in mind to do is what you should do. Stay focused. Stay focused on your aim. Don't be distracted. So concentrate on your goal, because if you concentrate on your goal, you will get there. If you concentrate on your goal, you will get there. Another word we learned again from the story is determination. Determination. Now, determination means it's a quality that makes you continue trying to do or achieve something that is difficult. You know something is difficult, but you're determined. So determination is a quality that makes you continue to do something that is proving difficult. something that seems difficult to achieve. You still trying to do or achieve something even though it is difficult. You are determined. You are determined. I must get there. Come what may, I must get there. You're determined to achieve the goal. You're determined to achieve the aim. You're determined to speak the language. Even though it seems difficult, you're determined to get there. So the quality determination is something we should imbibe. It's something we all should have. We should continue to do or achieve something, whether it's difficult. From the start, we shouldn't put our mind off it. We should continue to achieve it from the start. Our mind should be in it. Another word we can get from this story is the word petty. Petty. The hare was petty in the sense that petty means to show or have a mean or narrow-minded attitude. It's too shallow. You're having a mean, narrow-minded attitude. That's petty. Your mind is so narrow. Your thinking is so small. Petty. Petty. The hare was petty. His mind was narrow. His thinking was small. He wasn't thinking ahead. He wasn't thinking ahead. He was just thinking of the moments. He was just in the moments. He was just thinking of the now. He was thinking of the now. So the word petty, petty, to show or have a mean, narrow-minded attitude. Petty, petty. Now, there is this word, finish. It's a word we use all the time. Finish, it means to stop doing something because it's completed. So we saw it in the story, the word finish, finish, finish. And finish line is a line that marks the end of a race. So you find that in the competition there is a line on the floor. Whoever gets across the line gets to the finish line. So the line finish. It's a line that marks the end of a race. Finish line, finish line, finish line. Now there is a phrase we saw. We saw the phrase show off. Show off. Show off. It means to impress people with your ability or possessions. When you say someone is showing off, the person is trying to impress another person with his or her ability or possession. Show off. Show off. Trying to impress. Trying to show off. Trying to impress people with attitude or personality. Show off. Another word we came across again is nod off. Nod off. It means to fall asleep. The hare nodded off. He fell asleep. Nod off. Nod off. Nod off. Now we came across this idiomatic expression, eyes on the prize. It's an expression. Eyes on the prize. It means you should keep your eyes focused. You should focus. Focus on the goal, on achieving a positive end result. Focus on the goal. Let your eyes be on the prize. If someone tells you, I've got my eyes on the prize, it means the person is saying, I'm focused on achieving this goal, on achieving a positive end result in this goal. Keep your eyes on the prize. Now we came across this word. The word is steady. Steady. Steady means to move at the same speed without stopping. The tortoise was steady. He moved at the speed without stopping. He was not too fast. He was not too slow. He was going steady. So being steady is not fast. It's not slow. If we say the tortoise was steady, it doesn't mean the tortoise was slow. It was not too slow. Neither was he too fast. It was not too slow. Neither was he too fast. So steady means to move at the same speed, to move at the same pace without stopping, to move at the same pace without stopping. Not being too fast, not being too slow. Another word we came across again is the word plod. Like the word steady, it means to move or act slowly. To move or act slowly. The word is called plod. 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 Now we came across the phrase take a break. Take a break. Take a break. Take a break. It means stop doing something. At the office, your boss can decide to tell you, take a break. Learning the English language, you can decide to take a break. It means you can decide to stop doing something. When you're reading a novel, reading a short story, you can decide to take a break. Meaning you can decide to stop doing whatever you're doing, can decide to stop reading, decide to stop watching the movies, decide to stop playing, decide to stop whatever. When you decide to stop doing something, it means you're taking a break. Now, the last word for today is the word win. Win. The word win. The word win is to be victorious. To be victorious, to come out, to be the winner in a contest or competition. So when you've won, you are the winner. So win won, the tortoise won the race. It became the winner in the contest. It became the winner in the competition. It was victorious. Victorious. Win. The past tense of win is won. The hare said, I will win, but the tortoise later won. I will win this race. I won the race. It means being victorious. We've looked at the story, The Tortoise and the Hare. This is Learning English Live with Esther. And we're learning English through stories. And I said short stories are good for English learners. And we've looked at the short story, The Tortoise and the Hare. Because short stories are good because they allow you to work on your reading skills, on your listening skills, on your speaking skills at the same time. And the short story, The Tortoise and the Hare, you can find it in the description box. I'll put the subtitle there so you can help yourself by reading it, by speaking it. Then you can also help yourself by watching as I read it. Help your listening skills by watching as I read it, so you can also repeat the story after me, repeat the words after me, take notes of the vocabularies of the new words learned in the story. The meaning also, take notes of the meaning and learn to apply them in your daily conversation. Learn to apply them in your daily life. Use them. Once you use words, you will not forget the words. Once you use words, they become part of you. Why are we learning these vocabularies? So you can use them and they will be part of your daily life. So you can use them and they will get used to you. You find yourself speaking in the right diction. You find yourself speaking properly, even without your knowledge. Now we've come to the end of today's live section. If you've been following me, thanks for watching. Do well to subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon for notification on more videos. If you like my presentation, give me a thumbs up, give me a like. And if you have a question or anything to comment, put it in the comment section. If you have a story you want us to discuss during story time, if you have a story you want us to talk about, let me know. Now, the story time would not be every day. The story time will be once in a while. But every other day, we'll look at English phrases. So tomorrow we'll be looking at some phrases in English and how to use them in our daily conversation. So don't forget to hook up tomorrow again with English Live with Esther as we discuss more phrases on how to help our daily conversation. I'm so happy and I'm here always to help you with your English, with your learning the English, with improving in your listening skills, your speaking skills, and your reading skills. Till we meet again, same station, same channel, I remain your host, Esther. And I want you to do two things for me. I want you to read a short story, and I want you to stay safe. Those are your two assignments. You read a short story, then you can tell me the short story you read. Place the title of the story in the comment section. And also, I want you to stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. We love you. Stay safe. And I want you to be around again in our next live. Till then, have a good day. Bye.